As this one continues, Rosie, a huge heat on paper. Pat Gudauskas takes on Soli Bailey, Jesse Mendes, Frederico Morais. Can't wait to see how this one's going to shape up.
What heat hasn't been absolutely amazing? Every time, you know, the men's competition comes around, it just is so surprising to see how stacked it is. And Patrick Gudauskas, with last-minute heroics in the round 96, squeaked through his heat. I want to see more of that kind of performance. He kept us so excited. This inside connection, Joe, can make or break you, especially with one major maneuver out on the outside. So definitely comboing it up there. And here we go. First roll of the dice for our surfer, Frederico Morais, hot off a final berth in Jeffreys Bay. You know, we saw him on those 8-foot walls, fitting his lanky frame so nicely into the style of Super Tubes. But right here at Huntington, he looks like he's just so polished. Any kind of condition that you throw him out in, he's here to perform. Burn through a roll of film.
As we have a look now, Pat Gudauskas from San Clemente. Nice timing, under the lip snap, big climbing hook. Pat G's done this reform his whole life. He's got speed, got the energy, and the intent to finish. Big wind up, frontside air off the roof. Pat throws down one of the more exciting finishing moves of the morning.
Okay. The combination of major maneuvers out the back, that's what we got to keep an eye on. This turn right here, beyond vert, throws it up before the pier pilings. And then, the hair out of the face, clear eyes. He's on through to this inside section. Not afraid to risk it all. Moving through, got a lot of speed, does the wind up. You could tell he had something in mind there, just the way that he wiped off that little bit of speed before really just engaging with that section.
I've always 7.0, 5.17. Pat G already with a solid total out front. Now Mendes getting started. First turn solid for Mendes. Highline wrap, heading for the piers, got some speed to burn. Little redirect, now setting up the reform. Heading for the pilings, and now onto the north end for the closeout finish. Catching up to the backhand of Soli Bailey from Byron Bay, Australia.
More to the south, and that's where Soli Bailey got this way from, a little bit further from that pier piling, and finding open face to work with. Slopey wave for him. You can tell how badly these guys want that inside connection. And then Jesse Mendes on his forehand. Clean sweep. You know, not the major maneuvers that we saw from Paddy G or Frederico Morais really, but still getting some clean face to work with. I think this is going to be a mid-range wave for Jesse Mendes. Let's see what he gets done on this north end section. So quick snap off the top there. Really open people's eyes to your potential. Soli Bailey doing just that.
Morais off the runner-up from J Bay, right here to the south side of the pier. Two big turns on his forehand. The surfer from Portugal now weaving. He's got a ton of speed for the reform. Not a problem for Frederico. Going for a big hack to finish. In all sorts of conditions. How do you like these first two turns, Rosie?
I love the clean sweep that he had. The timing too, not to get too far in front of it and having to set that rail and do a carving maneuver. You got to really get critical up in the lip. And then just that downtime in between. He manages to just hold that momentum through.
Final, maybe Toledo's most stressful performance on road to victory. During the break there, Frederico once again getting started.
That's right, Joe. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm so excited about the surfing that Frederico is putting on display for us. Bigger wave out here at Huntington this morning, and he just lays into that first section and then just ninja blades that surfboard out the back. Soli Bailey. Oh, great slice into that lip. So also a great read on this right-hander. Love the fact that he has that tempo and timing to come from behind that section and lay into it. It's crazy. I mean, seeing Soli Bailey, just how much he's grown. He looks so strong at the moment. Unfortunately, he goes down on that last section. Big numbers.
And now fun looking right here for Solomon. He's going to set up that first top turn wrap. Nice rebound. Wraps it one more time. The former pipe champ into the double up. Going for the air, tail high whip.
Wow.
Ton of liftoff, just couldn't pull it off.
So close to.
Priority with Gudauskas. First turn, solid. Big whitewater section to play with now in the second one. Now it's all about the reform for Pat G. Growing up in San Clemente, he'd surf here all the time as an amateur. He's had so many runs at the US Open. Here comes the finish. Pat stays on his feet, he's fired up. Mendes now to answer. Showing his frustration as he's been fourth place this entire matchup.
Yes, in this heat so far, Jesse Mendes, you see him just stick that rail in that face of the wave, so not getting much speed and projection out of his turns, but then Patty G just zing up into the lip, backs it right up. So great read through that outside section. He stays super comfortable on this wave too, and then he knows he has to get busy as it flattens out there. Taps that board rail to rail. That Channel Islands fever that he's responsible for, that model looking good, and you can tell he likes it, Joe. Is he going to add to his point total? And
he's a big boy, charges, so does Pat. We remember that wave he took off on Cloudbreak on a 6-6, a drop we'll never forget.
He also got a start in the Mavericks contest a couple of years ago, Patty.
40 seconds to go. Trying to throw a comeback Hail Mary air was Jesse Mendes. Soli Bailey with priority, an important wave for him. He needs a 7.93 to make the switch into the top two. The Australian style looking for some board speed into the reform, needs something big. Goes for the punt one more time, and he's not going to get credit for it.
Wow, points for trying for both Jesse and Soli. And right now, something that's also going to count is who comes third, who comes fourth. I mean, that also the differentiation between those points is important. You want to take away every point you can in this competition, even if you get knocked out.
So true. We know how close it gets at the end of the season. Every point matters as the Gudauskas clan is celebrating a victory for Pat Gudauskas. Frederico Morais moving on in second. We lose Soli Bailey, the pipe champ, and also #1 on the qualifying series, Jesse Mendes, out in the round of 48.